Okay, new week, new decks, new agenda. This is the last of the new agendas, so to speak, that I'm going to be playing here. And because this came out in the Forgotten Heroes, this is Free Companies, the Bestow agenda, as you could think of it. Oh, excuse me. So one of the immediate concerns whenever a new agenda comes out is it going to be overpowered? Is it going to break the meta? And so forth and so on. The most obvious offender was Sea of Blood, in my opinion, but also there have been some other agendas that were considered to be a problem when they first came out, such as the Wars to Come. I think I can safely say that this agenda does not violate that. It is, both from my experience playing it and playing against it, I think it's very well balanced. It's a good agenda, like it's viable and allows you to do some unique types of decks and things that you can't really do normally, but it's not overpowered. And you can also see that in the fact that I don't see people playing it very often. It's been out for a while now, and it's still very rare for me to go up against this. It doesn't actually seem to be very popular, which means that it's probably not overpowered. Because if it was, you would see it being spammed all the time. The factions that I chose for this, I think Lannister and Targaryen are the most obvious. They have some of the best like bestow cards and bestow support cards. Then after that, it's kind of open-ended. I ended up picking Tyrell as the third faction. Tyrell has just enough bestow cards that I really like that I thought fit well with this. Most notably, oh goodness, I can't speak today. The four cost Sir Garland Tyrell is really a standout bestow card for Tyrell and kind of pushed me towards using this agenda with them. Also, Sir Emin Kui, Kai, however you say his last name, the little Rainbow Guard guy that discards gold to raise claim, he came out in the Forgotten Heroes pack as well. And obviously, that's a card that needs a lot of bestow support to really reach its max power. Because if you don't have anything to get extra gold on him, then he just kills himself and activates one time, which is still arguably worth having around as a one-shot effect, but it's not, it could do better than that if you can get more gold onto him. Anyways, that's for the other decks. This is the Lannister deck. The deck that I ended up making here is a bit wonky. It's got a lot of like weird one-ofs in it, and I'm not sure how I quite ended up with that. I think I just was trying, like, there was so many different things you can do with Lannister in this agenda, and I couldn't really fit them all in one deck. But I did end up knowing that I wanted to play, what's his name, Sir Kevin, with Tower of the Hand and the Red Keep, and these cards Milk and Seized by the Guard. So I knew I wanted to play Seized by the Guard. That's obvious for this. And then I was like, well, that's really good with Sir Kevin because he can bring it back from the discard when they discard it. And at that point, then it's like, oh, well, we should have Milk of the Poppy and Tower of the Hand because those go really good with that. And then if you're doing that, you should also have the Red Keep because what you do is discard this with Goldmine and then Kevin puts it into play for technically for free. I mean, you marshal Kevin, so you have to pay the 6 gold for him, but you do get the Red Keep as a into play with his ability, and so forth and so on. That's kind of how it started. And then I was like, well, let's have 3 Tywins. And I did have 3 Vargo Hotes, but ultimately I think he's a bit unnecessary. He's okay, like he's definitely not bad to have around, but he's not on the level where I think you need 3 copies of him. It probably wouldn't hurt to have 3 copies of him, but he's not super essential either, in my opinion. I think this is a guy that you actually might. This and cards like Sir Horace Swift and Cersei's Informer, they're fine in this deck, but I think they would actually shine more in a deck where you're trying to have some bestow cards, like you're trying to have Flea Bottom and maybe, but you aren't running this agenda. Because the agenda actually takes care of a lot of the concerns about like keeping gold on certain cards. Like his ability to move gold around and gain gold on cards, oftentimes I find it to be a bit redundant. I mean, unless you just have a huge critical mass or you really need to be triggering your begging brother like 5 times a turn or something. Anyways, I threw in some other big characters that seemed decent enough. Let's see here. Yeah, so Jamie goes really well with like Tower of the Hand and the 3 Hear Me Roars. These combo with Sir Adam Marbrand. Obviously, I think I talked about this in the Knights deck. Similar idea here. Who else? Sir Ilan Payne goes with Hear Me Roar and Tower of the Hand. Case Merchant, this is a decent bestow card. I think that pretty much covers it. I mean, the Hound is the Hound, and you can put him in the flea bottom pile. Maybe you could play more copies of Sir Osmond. I don't know. Yeah. I could see the argument for that, but he's okay at just one copy, I think. And of course the Regent's Guard because Hear Me Roar. And notably, we don't have bodyguards. I think it would be fine to put 3 bodyguards in this deck, but they're not super essential. The main character you would want them on is Tywin. And we still have Valar Morghulis, because what I found is with Flea Bottom and like a lot of the bounce effects is it's pretty, even if you don't have a ton of saves, it's pretty realistic to like have a bunch of stuff in hand that you can still do after a full board clear. And sometimes you'll be up against decks where for the opponent's deck that's not necessarily the case, and so the Morghulis can be very important to push things towards your favor. Likewise, the first Snow of Winter is pretty obvious, and then I mean these plots are pretty self-explanatory. Favors from the Crown, again, actually not as good as you would expect. Again, I think this might be a plot that's better for a deck where you want to do some bestow stuff that's not this agenda. But it's okay, right? I mean, if I wasn't using this, I'm not sure what I would use instead. Loan from the Iron Bank would probably be fine. This is a flex spot, I think, in terms of the plots. Close Call is also maybe not necessary. There are a few duplicates, though, like Sir Adam and Sir Kevin and such, and you are doing like Valar Morghulis. That's in your plot deck, so I think it's still good to have Close Call. All right. All right, here we go. The opponent is Baratheon with Fealty. Okay, then. Oh, man. I want to set up Tywin, but the fact that he's playing Fealty makes me scared that he's, like, playing a 2 or 3 years old deck, and that means it might have March to the Wall. Should I risk it? YOLO, right? Let's just YOLO it. If he marches me, it'll make for a more interesting game, maybe. Definitely the safer setup would be like Adam, Flea Bottom, and Goldmine. I mean, that would still give him a March target, but not nearly as good of one. Alright, so he has this Davos, so that makes me think that he's not like playing with core set and first cycle only or something weird. Baratheon normally would never have March to the Wall, but sometimes if it's like people that are coming back to the game from 3 years ago when March to the Wall was in every deck. Alright, trading with the Pintoshi. I can get behind that. Oh, he put the top 2 of my deck on the bottom. Said, oh, I got the Hear Me Roar, Jaime, and Tower. Maybe with Pintoshi, Gates of the Moon, and Tywin, I might be able to do like Adam, Tower, and that Hear Me Roar combo. Probably can afford all of that. What is he going to marshal? I'm guessing he's going to marshal Robert because he put himself as first player. You have Baratheon going first on the first turn. They probably have Robert. He's attempting to use his agenda. Yeah, there's Robert. He did it wrong. That's not how you do it. You have to click on the agenda. Okay, that works, I guess. Yes, for fealty. Shame I didn't draw milk for this Bobbert. But we obviously have tricks to go around him. Oh, that sucks. Red Priest, what a sad card. At least we have First Snow of Winter. Cancels the resolution. Really? Can you even do that? I mean, once you trigger the reaction, I think you have to take a card out of play, right? If he wants to not use it, though, I'm not going to complain. Seems like that has to be a misclick. Ooh, Lightbringer, that's gross. Wow, look at that. Exact perfect amounts of gold. The only question is, should I discard something here with Gold Mine? I mean, I should use it. The question is, what do I do with it? Let's do Burned Man. So now I can put a gold on Flea Bottom with the agenda. If I want to use that, that's probably for Claim Soak. I guess I could trigger it with Tywin, but no, we're not doing that. Tower of the Hand is great on like every other big character except Tywin. He's the one that you want to stay in play. That's one reason I ended up putting 3 copies of him in the deck. And characters like Jaime is only a 1 of, because I want to use him with Tower. Alright, what plot do we do now? I could do Valor Morgulis, actually. I think he'd be kind of dead. Killing Adam would kind of sucks, but let's do this while Adam is still alive. Yep, see, there's the second copy. We can close call him. So it's good to have close call in the deck. Calling the banners, interesting choice. Oh, wow. That works? Well, I'll take it. That feels weird to me, being able to use his reaction that way. I don't know. Maybe it works. Rude. If that's all he has, obviously, I'm in pretty good shape. Kneeling Tywin on my zero claim turn, whatever. I still have plenty of money. Should I do Begging Brother or this thing? I guess Begging Brother is probably better. Let's go ahead and do this. Scene in Flames is mildly annoying, mainly because it'll discard Kevin, but Kevin's ability doesn't seem to be necessary here. Discarding any of the rest of these, like, okay, whatever. Don't really care. Should I close call or noble cause? Let's see. How much money will I have if I close call? I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is enough to play Jamie and Sir Adam, so let's do it. Oh, he did Noble Cause. Look at that. If I didn't have enough to play both of these, then it might be better to go for Noble Cause. Because playing Jamie again is probably more important than marshalling Sir Adam. But obviously, if you can do both, then you can do both. This dude has so many duplicates. It's so unfortunate for him the way that the timing worked out that he didn't have any duplicates on that Valar Morghulis. Tower of the Hand doing work, I guess. All the duplicates. No, it's Lightbringer again. But this one doesn't have Intimidate. Not enough for Gold Mine. Sad times. I have enough gold for Seized by the Guard. That does literally nothing. Ace or Horus. Probably going to use the agenda on Flea Bottom, but if it ends up being unnecessary, we can put it on Begging Brother. Sir Horus Swift, another card that ends up being pretty unnecessary, in my opinion, and a card that's more served towards, like, if you wanted to make a bestow deck without this agenda, then you would put him in the deck. Not sure if I should do Intrigue or Power, but let's do Intrigue. I think either one would probably be fine. Hand's Judgment. That could be relevant. I might draw another Hear Me Roar or something. I do have 2 Unbridled Generosity. We don't mind having Hound in the flea bottom pile, and we definitely don't need 2 seats by the guard. So we didn't bother using Sir Adam to get the Hound back. I should probably do Noble Cause here. Yeah. Oh, that's sad. He riddled a Noble Cause. This dude needs a drop lot. He's not drawing any cards. Ooh, these are some spicy cards. Let's do this preemptively. Then we can use Sir Harris to put gold on flea bottom if we want. This is to cancel Melisandre if he drew a R'hllor card. No, those are 2 pretty decent draws, though. Should I just kill Melisandre? Oh, I already kneeled my faction card. So, no, not doing that this turn. Although it's entirely possible that I should have saved the faction card kneel to do that. But we're also basically able to kill her with Tower of the Hand, so I think it's fine. Now what? This, I guess. Ooh, milk. Actually pretty unnecessary. I mean, this game seems pretty locked up, I have to say. Like, even if he does Valor Morghulis, Tywin stays, and I still have a ton of garbage, and he has nothing. I should be able to just straight up kill both of his guys with the Tower of the Hand on Melisandre and then Military Claim. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna let this one go through. Ugh. Something. Just, again, having trouble talking today. But yeah, we let this go through because... should I... If I want to be ballsy, I could use the duplicate. I think this is better. Because if I defend it with these guys, then with Seal of the Hand, he would be able to defend military from the Hound. This way on my turn I can do military with the Hound and Tywin, and Stannis will die. I guess I should have cancelled that. Yeah, I should have cancelled that card draw. He still has it, yep. Yeah, now it's way more likely than not that Melisandre will be able to stay in his hand, obviously. So we have this 1 gold to cancel her when she gets marshaled again. Going to discard these Begging Brothers to reserve. First of all, because I already have one in play. Second of all, because they're flea bottom targets. And he concedes, and I don't blame him. Well, that went pretty much perfectly. I can't think of anything better that I could ask for out of this deck. Let me see the time on the video. 32 minutes. Oh, should I do another one? I don't know. That one felt too one-sided, but it did give like a really perfect showcase of, well, this is how all the tricks in the deck work, so I guess it's good enough. We'll see what happens next time.